gaming community is such a joke. How can you guys go 2 minutes into this man's video of him talking about how these games can't run on the Series X when this man just said that the Series X can't run Xbox One games? Are you kidding me? Like, I thought he was just joking, trying to be a casual, trying to do an interesting take. No, this man's really serious. Listen.
I think, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, I think they've already spoken about the reason as to why this game is not coming out on the Xbox Series. I think something has to do with the way the Xbox doesn't run Xbox One games or...
Man, I had to take my glasses off for this. Are you kidding me? The Xbox Series X can't run Xbox One games? Bro, where have you been, man? I thought you was an Xbox ambassador, and how do you not know that the Series X can run Xbox One games? Matter of fact, Doc, it can run 360 as well as original Xbox games. Where have you been? And you guys want to sit there and say, oh yeah, he's a credible content creator. Oh, come on, Gamester, be easy on him. He don't know any better. No. This is the definition of a fraud, man. When you out here saying that, the reasons as to why this is happening is because the Xbox Series X can't run Xbox One games is laughable to me, man. Like, what do you think you people been playing, man? I can play MT Framework games through my Series X. That is not an excuse. Matter of fact, they just dropped the new Ace Attorney collection on Xbox, which uses MT Framework. And guess what? The game was available through Xbox One, but I can still play it through my Series X, man. I'm sorry, man. You people gonna have to take this L, bro. There's no reason as to why Marvel Arcade Classic Collection did not come to the Xbox besides Sony, telling Marvel, hey, man, we working on all your Marvel games, man. Can you cut us a break and don't drop it on Xbox? Because we already know Capcom don't care. How many collections? They dropped Street Fighter Anniversary, Capcom Fighting Collection. So we already are fully aware that Capcom don't do this type of behavior. But Sony, on the other hand, they got a huge history on that.
The MT Framework, I don't know. I have
so if you don't know, then why are you talking about it?
Idea, but apparently it's not because of this narrative that we're going to talk about. But I still want to talk about it and see if there's any truth to this.
There's no validity in these statements, bro. You could have ended this video 2 minutes ago. You could have looked at the fact that that's what they said. They said that the Series X can't run Xbox One games. Obviously, that's not true. Like, why are we even making these videos? I mean, you guys will do anything in your power to make the Xbox Series X look like a bad platform in comparison to the PS5, bro. While the PS5 is providing you with nothing. Y'all like, well, he like Xbox. No, he don't, bro. He's a pony bot, bro. All this dude does is run with narratives. Like, how do you people not see this, man? Like, I completely debunked both of your arguments with the MT framework as well as the Xbox that apparently don't have backwards compatibility, guys. So I guess when I put an Xbox One game in my Series X, it just it allegedly doesn't work, according to Dark 1985.
There is a belief out there that Xbox has conditioned its audience to not buy games now.
The funny thing is, they didn't condition anybody. You people weren't buying games regardless. So what is you people talking about? And these same people ain't buying games on PlayStation either. That's why Square decided to say, you know what, we're going back to being multi-plat. Microsoft did not condition anybody to play their games through Game Pass. What's going on here is that you guys see the value of it and people are subscribing to it. You people weren't buying games anyway. That's probably why Microsoft even decided to implement the idea of it, because they understand that, hey, we got to find a way to sucker these Fortnite players that don't care enough to play and try out new games. They look at the value. They look at the day and days Call of Duty as well. They're like, you know what? Even though I don't really care for these games, I'm still going to subscribe to it because of the value, which means that Microsoft gets the money anyway, even if you people choose not to buy games, which is crazy because this is a Band-Aid solution for people that like hardcore games as well as casuals getting what they want. Microsoft has created a system to where everybody can benefit from. You get what I'm saying? Perfect Dark, in my opinion, is coming out due to Game Pass because they understand that this game don't have the same weight as a Call of Duty Black Ops 6, but they can take chances with it because all they got to do is put it on Game Pass. So yes, maybe only 20,000 people decide to play it. But guess what? Those 20,000 people are happy because they get a chance to play the game. And Microsoft didn't lose the money because you gave them the money for the subscription service anyway. That's why Game Pass is successful. You see how I broke it down for you individuals? But for some reason, they think that Sony selling $70 games is more beneficial. So according to you fanboys, Netflix and Hulu, apparently they don't make no money. They don't tell you to buy movies off the service. No, all you're doing is renting them.
I can't speak for everybody, but I can speak for myself.
Of course.
I promise you this. Xbox did not teach me how to be frugal. Xbox did not teach me how to look for a deal. Xbox did not teach me to use common sense with my money. Xbox did my way of getting games was going to GameStop, and the first thing I would do is look at that 2 for $20 bins. I've been playing old games. That has been my mantra for a while.
See, the funny thing is, man, and this is what you people don't understand. This is why companies care so much if the game sells day one, because, like I said, you want to know what killed gaming? Those greatest hits, God of War 1 and 2 with the red label on top. That's what killed gaming. But at the time, Sony made their money, so they decided to do a greatest hits version. That's kind of something but a lot of people did choose to wait to pick up these games. Like San Andreas, I'm going to just wait a year or 2 years so I can get San Andreas for $20 through the greatest hits. A lot of people have been doing this. And the funny thing is, you people think that, well, Microsoft don't get no money by pushing these games through. So yes, they do. They get more money because whatever they're investing into these intellectual properties, that money is already being made at front at the end of the year, right? Like I said, just do 30 million times $180 a year. You will see what type of money they get in. They get in like, what, 5.4 billion just off that. That's not including PC or anything else that they're doing through their PC operating system. Microsoft has ways of making money, man, and it's crazy. So, but you people are focusing on the fact that, so let's look at it, right? So Microsoft made about, well, let's say 5.4 billion through Game Pass for 1 year. Sony makes a game. They invest $300 million into Final Fantasy 16, and guess what? They got 3 million sales. That wasn't enough to cover the budget, let alone have the game be a success. That's why those games is failures. So for you people to say, well, Hellblade don't got that many people playing it, it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, there's a niche audience of gamers that do like it. So therefore, we all benefit. We all benefit. I guarantee Fable and all these other games are coming out due to Game Pass. You get what I'm saying? Because Microsoft can take chances. They can use Call of Duty as the game to push all these great games that Microsoft can make, even if people don't really like them. Like, you guys really think Perfect Dark would have came out if they charged the game $70? I mean, it probably will do so. Microsoft is just giving you the option. But I don't see the problem in all this. We would have loved my Xbox Game Pass during the 360. So why do you guys hate it now? You can't sit there and tell me that you wouldn't have loved Xbox Game Pass giving you access to Gears of War, Crackdown, Halo 3, all for $17 a month. You was already paying $10 a month anyways. Like, you people are just haters, man. And at the end of the day, I'm not saying that I care, because I'm not subscribed to Game Pass because I choose to buy my games. But at the end of the day, I am not mad because people have the options of playing games in different ways.
Looking at the 2 for $20 bin.
You're a part of that problem, because EA has set it back during the 360 and PS3. We need you people to buy new games. Remember EA said that? Y'all used to... See, there's one thing about EA that you guys can never argue. EA is always right. When EA told you that single-player games is dead, EA is right. How many single-player games died out? Think about that for a moment. Y'all was sitting there, oh, EA, you're wrong, because you're emotionally attached. You're wrong, EA! You're wrong! Just to find out they was right. Remember when EA told you that we need people to buy new games, and we're tired of y'all buying used games? To the point where they had to put online passes because they knew what you people was doing. Mr. 4 for 20 over here. There you go. There you go. Because they weren't getting any money from you. GameStop was, or whoever you was buying these games from. They were getting your money. This is why I tried to emphasize that Microsoft and what they're doing, that $17, $18 a month is going directly to Microsoft. You get what I'm saying? They don't see that. Every time you buy a Fortnite skin, that's going to Epic Games. That ain't going to Microsoft. It's free to play. Well, they got a little royalty, not enough royalties to cost for the cost of these games. You people don't know nothing about business, man. Go back to playing gaming, because when it comes down to these topics, you people don't know what you're talking about, bro. It's fallacies.
That was my thing. So when I would buy a used game, doesn't matter what price I was paying, if I was paying more than $15 or not, that money was not going to the publisher. That money was not going to the
there you go.
developer.
Exactly.
That money was not going to PlayStation, Xbox. No. That money was going to GameStop. The game
that's so crazy, right? That I said all of that, and then he goes on to repeat it. That's so crazy. It's like I have a habit of being able to predict what's going to happen with these dudes. It's predictable. That's why. It
had already been purchased by somebody. They came back and traded it in, and now I was buying the used game. Mm-hmm. So the original sale of that game was already done. They weren't getting my money at all. That's the way that I was buying games.
Well, you're not the only one. I mean, matter of fact, y'all want to sit there and argue about, we used to buy games on the Super Nintendo, NES. No, you didn't. Cut it out, bro. People did not have that money back then, bro. Y'all were getting games through Blockbusters and Hollywood videos. That's how you was getting games. That's why you people don't finish games, because your mama used to put you on Pokemon Snap for 2 days, and you're like, Mom, I didn't finish it yet. Timmy, give me the game. We gotta bring it back. Man, I want to play Pokemon Stadium. Timmy, please give me the game. We have to return it to Blockbuster. I'm still playing Rampage and Wave. I don't want to hear it, Timmy. Give me the game and Cruising USA. Timmy, give me these games. Give me these games. They're about to charge me for a late fee. That's all you people was doing. So when you guys sit there and say what Microsoft's doing is bad, you never bought games. I got a controversial take. Gamers have never bought games. Woo! Let's go. Oh, yeah. Y'all want to play that angle? When were y'all buying games on the NES? When was you buying games on the Super Nintendo? When was you buying games on the N64? When was you buying games on the PS2 original Xbox? Y'all were all renting games. I know the culture back then. I know, because I was a part of it. The only time I was able to really buy games is when I became an adult and started having my own money. You feel me? But I did have my games because my dad was also a gamer, so we rented, and as well, we went out there and bought games. I think we started buying games around PS2, GameCube, and Dreamcast is when we started buying games. But even then, my dad had a lot of games for the Dreamcast that were bootlegs, man. I was playing Sonic Adventure. I got all the physical copies now, but we was playing Sonic Adventure with the marker label, clear disc, because you could do it like that back on the Dreamcast. I do think PS3, 360, we did buy games. Yeah. They still had rental services back then. PS4 and Xbox One is where it kind of ended. I would go as far to say. And let's not forget GameFly. You know, you guys had a problem with Xbox Game Pass, but GameFly was doing this before anybody. And y'all was like, oh, wow, look at that. I can rent 2 games for $12.95. You know, and I don't have to bring them back. I can hold on to them as long as I pay through the subscription service. There you go. You gamers have no... Actually, you know what's funny? Actually, I'm wrong. 360 and PS3 and Nintendo Wii, even though there was no Blockbuster and Hollywood Video, y'all were renting games through GameFly. So the only time in PS4 and Xbox One, to a certain degree, they still have GameFly now, but I'm just saying, I'm just trying to think. So nobody really bought games. If you really think about it, nobody really bought video games. A lot of people's video gaming experiences is through renting, because y'all never owned these games. Y'all never had enough time to finish these games like I did. We had, even though we rented games, we still had a lot of games in our household, more than the average person. Okay, having 100 PS2 games at the time meant you was rich. You know, I remember I had friends coming over there like, man, this man got stacks, man. This man got 5 racks. You know what I mean? That's about 100 games on each rack. Damn, that was considered rich, man. I used to go down. I'll tell y'all a funny story, man. I used to have friends coming over, man, and I remember I bought a game for cheap, and I used to keep the sticker, the $49.99 sticker, yeah, to make it look like I spent more. Yo, look at these. You know what I'm saying? I used to keep the sticker on to make it look like I got money. Yeah, you know, I paid $49.99 for that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Even though the game dropped to $20, but I gotta keep the price sticker on to make it look nice. You gotta make it look rich. You know what I'm saying? That's a funny story. But anyways, like I said, it still was a lot of money there, man. I had hundreds, like probably 500 PS2 games. That's crazy. A lot of kids didn't have that. And luckily my dad was somewhat of a gamer. You know what I mean? So we was also able to benefit, and then our family was into it with cousins. So that's kind of why, all this happened. That's the origin stories of GameStop. But with you guys, it looked like y'all just started gaming now, like all of a sudden.
I don't know how true it is, the sales numbers, because obviously Xbox doesn't release sale numbers. When Phil said that Game Pass is going to have people buying more games, here's the reality again for me. Ever since I've started using Game Pass, I have purchased more games. I have purchased more games at full price. Unfortunately, and I got to be honest with you guys, right? Most of the games that I've purchased full price have been on the PlayStation. Most of the games that I've...
a great take. A great take there. Maybe not coming out of your mouth, but the way I'm going to take what he said, and it's going to be brilliant, right? So this also goes to show you that nobody cared about exclusives. And that's why I've told you, GameStop with another W. It's about time Doc Dark style finally starts realizing the realization of what's really going on here. When people bought the PS2 and they bought games, what did they do buy the games for? Third party, Devil May Cry, Onimusha, Final Fantasy. These are third party games. Nobody cared about Extermination. Sly Cooper, yeah, they had their audiences, of course, but as you can see, they completely died off when the PS3 came around because people did not care for Sony for their PlayStation exclusives. Matter of fact, Sony was probably one of the worst consoles for exclusivity. They were exclusive at the time. They weren't real Kingdom Hearts. These are the games that people was playing. If you ask anybody what were the best PS2 games, I guarantee you they're going to tell you a game from Capcom, Square, and a company of that nature. Okay? They're not going to sit there and say, Extermination was my favorite. Scythed Unfiltered was my favorite. They might throw in a Ratchet and Clank or a Sly Cooper or Jack and Daxter in there, but majority of them are going to be third-party companies. Y'all know this. Now, with the original Xbox, I can't say that because I had Brute Force. There was a lot of good games that Microsoft, a lot of underrated games that I think a lot of people didn't appreciate when the original Xbox came out. And the GameCube, same thing. Like, if you ask a person that said, I picked up the GameCube, more than likely they're going to say Eternal Darkness, Mario Sunshine, Luigi's Mansion, Geist, Metroid Prime. These are the games that they're going to say. Even the WrestleMania exclusive games at the time, they're going to say some form of an exclusive. Does that make sense? Even though Billy Hatcher's made by Sega, but it would be some form of an exclusive that people would say that they like the GameCube for. You would not sit there and have somebody say, I love the GameCube because of True Crime and Streets of LA. I love the GameCube because of NBA Live, even because the third party was so lackluster. They would not say that. A person that said they like the GameCube, I can guarantee 9.9 out of the times will mention Nintendo exclusives. Oh, I love Mario Kart 8. Not Mario Kart 8. Mario Kart Double Dash. You see what I'm saying? Now, when you talk about PlayStation, Square game, Capcom game, EA game, Rockstar game, that's what you people was playing on PlayStation.
Purchased at all period have been games that aren't on Game Pass. So far, there's only been one game that I bought that later came to Game Pass. And that was Gotham Knights. I bought Gotham Knights on Xbox. I also bought Gotham Knights on Steam. So I actually bought the game twice.
Cool.
I know people be like, oh, you don't buy games with it, right? And then it came to Game Pass, which is okay. I mean, it is.
Oh, that's what he's hurt. He's hurt that he went out there and paid $60 for a game that he could play through his subscription service. Boo-hoo. Cry me a river.
Are dominating the market. Where you can have as much fun. The graphics look just as good, if not better, and the gameplay is phenomenal on a free-to-play game.
GameStop with another W. Didn't I tell you guys that when free-to-plays came in, that is what really hurt gaming. I'm telling you something. Because when y'all talk about how good these PlayStation 4 exclusives were, guess what? This was all at a time when Fortnite was hitting its stride. Fortnite, PUBG. I mean, they were hitting it there. They were, but people were still going back to play their exclusives, right? To a certain degree. When those games finally flourish with the battle passes, what is it? Yeah, battle passes, PUBG, Fortnite, Apex Legends, when these games started coming in storms and happened to be free to play, this is when the problem started with people not buying video games, man. I'm happy, Doc, that you mentioned that. Even though you don't know that the Xbox Series X is compatible with the Xbox One. But nonetheless, I'm happy that you mentioned that because that is true. That is absolutely true. Free-to-plays have destroyed gaming. You guys want to sit there, and Microsoft has to look at it like this. Well, hold on. People buying an Xbox, people buying a PS5, but they all buying it for the wrong reasons. So Microsoft had to incentivize gamers to want to be able to pay them while also incentivizing video games. Even if they don't try them, at least they're subscribed to the service, man. See, that's what you people don't understand. Remember when I told you guys this? I've been saying this for years, man. Like, are y'all really biting off my content, stealing the things that I've been saying? Because I've been saying this for a while, that people don't buy the consoles for the reasons that you're supposed to. But what's crazy about you, Doc, this is where I'm going to have to call out your pony ways, okay? Your pony bot, and I'm going to tell you why. Because you sit there and say that for Microsoft, right? Say what you want about Microsoft. Xbox gamers are buying Xbox through Game Pass. Now explain to me what PS5 gamer is buying the PS5 for exclusives. Oh, yeah, you got no answer to that, huh? Exactly. Now you sound like a stuttering baby because you know what you're saying is wrong. Because people ain't buying the PS5. Oh, they do. Oh, yes, they do. Really? Oh, they do? Rise of Ronin? Flop? Helldivers 2 was only successful on PC. Let's go through the list of games, shall we? Stellar Blade. Honestly, the game, I got to see if it hit over 2 or 3. It didn't exceed expectations. I guess it might have did well. It might have been a Returnal situation, but Sony's not going to make that type of money off that. Rise of Ronin flopped. What was it? Foam Stars flopped. Final Fantasy 16, Forspoken. All these games flopped. Every single one of these games that I mentioned, man. Ain't nobody going crazy to pick up a PS5 to play Last of Us Remastered again. Or Last of Us Remake built from the ground up edition. Nobody's picking up a PS5 for that, man. And if you really think that, then you're more of a fool than I thought.
As much as they are on games that you're paying for. So, because there's games out there that are free to play, that you'll drop endless amounts of hours and you will enjoy it. That means that there's games out there that have a price tag on it that are not worth the purchase. It's just a reality.
And I'll give you guys another example. Fortnite, it's so funny. Y'all want to talk about, people buy game, though. Okay. So when Fortnite was selling their game through Save the Earth, did anybody buy it? Or did they buy it when it was free to... buy it when it was free to play. Or did they invest money in the game when it was free to play? You guys already know the answer to that. So when you guys sit there and talk about, gamers care about buying games, we already know they don't. You guys want to use this as some form of hardcore gaming stigma. Oh, yeah, we're real gamers because we buy games because you're still stuck in your old ways like your brother, Porter Rock, because that's when our days we used to buy them when we already know Porter Rock used to rent them like everybody else. So cut the nonsense, man. That's all you people have been doing. Y'all been doing this since the 1980s, renting games. People did not have the money like they do today to go out there and pick up games like that. Y'all know this, man. N64 games was expensive. Neo G, these things was expensive. 3DO, $600-700. These things were as expensive, which at those times, that's a lot of money. $600-700. That's like $1,000 equivalent to what you get now. You know what I'm saying? And you people out here acting like, gaming is more... Yeah, I mean, you people don't know what you're saying. I mean, gaming is more accessible than it has ever been. And I think you guys should thank Microsoft for that, because Microsoft is what held true to that.
There are games out there that are just not worth the purchase. It just is what it is. I hate to...
That's 99.9% of these games.
To be the bearer of bad news.
So you're also admitting that games is not that good enough to buy anymore.
So,
because that logic don't apply to GTA 6, that logic don't apply to NBA 2K25, that logic don't apply to the NCAA football game. That don't apply there, because people will buy those games. So you see what I'm saying? So when you sit there and say, people don't do that anymore, you're talking about a Pacific audience, which is absolutely correct. But at the same time, people are not having this issue in regards to their annual release of Call of Duty and their annual release of NBA 2K.
People wanted to run with this Marvel versus Capcom thing, saying that games aren't coming to Xbox because the Xbox players don't buy games. And unless you have your game on Game Pass, there's no point in putting your game on Xbox.
Wow.
I don't know how much money you lose by putting your game on Xbox, even if it's not on Game Pass. That's for somebody else to figure out. But if you're not putting your game on Game Pass, on Xbox, just because you're not going to put it on Game Pass, then I need you to understand this if you're a developer, okay?
Uh-oh.
Yes, you are competing with Game Pass. You are. I'm not going to lie to you. But your work should be good enough that you feel that, you know what, my game is worthy.
It's not even about the game's worth. It's the fact that the audience don't buy games. Bro, you should know better. You're a casual. You was going for 4 for $20 deals at GameStop, man. What is you talking about, bro? You was a part of the problem. So when we sit there and say, oh, gamers, they don't buy games. You didn't buy them either. You waited for the 4 for $20s. Okay? Nothing wrong with it, like I said, but that's what you did, which causes this effect that we see today. So we can't sit there and just blame, these companies for not coming out. Like, I had to get over that, man. People that I've talked to, oh, I don't know why they don't bring these games out, man. I'm still waiting for a D2 Project Justice. Why is Capcom not focusing on us? Because there's not a cult following for those games, and a lot of people don't know about them. Star Gladiator, Plasma Sword, Mega Man, it's just not an audience there. I mean, I think Mega Man could probably have some form of research, but I'm saying for the games that I enjoy, there's not really an audience. Even with how nostalgic gaming has gotten, Capcom probably doesn't see the time of wasting their money by trying to port these games. Onimusha 2 and 3 has already been developed and they're ready to be ported, but Capcom hasn't dropped them yet because of how bad the first game sold. So there's your answer. So at the end of the day, no matter if it's quality or not, nobody cares enough to buy the game. You can bring, and this is what Microsoft, Phil Spencer even told you, it doesn't matter how good your game is. People ain't gonna buy it. I can make the best game in the world. Best game in the world. Matter of fact, some of the best games are underrated, and a lot of people don't know about, like Panzer Dragoon Saga, for an example, or Burning Rangers. A lot of people didn't play it. 3 Dirty Dwarfs is another great one. But people are not going to buy it. Oh, man, look at me. It's me, game dev. I'm bringing out one of the most ambitious, greatest games in the world. I think we'll give GTA a run for its money this time around. GTA's got 32 play. We got 64 play. Gameplay very similar. Ours is in Los Angeles. I'm proudly to announce this game and stuff. GTA 6 come out. My game is dead. Dead on arrival. That's how simple it is. My game literally got beat out by NBA 2K24. Okay? And we in 2025. Okay? So that's what you don't understand. The problem is that a lot of people are just attached to one game. Like, you guys really think people experiment with things anymore. They didn't even do that back then. Y'all know that. Come on, man.
Being purchased, whether or not it has to compete on Game Pass. By you putting your game on a platform that's not on all the other platforms but Xbox, even though it might not be many, you are excluding some gamers out there. And maybe the juice is worth the squeeze there. I don't really know. I have no idea. But essentially, by developers also making Xbox obsolete, because that's what they will be doing if they keep skipping Xbox, you will essentially create a console monopoly that everyone keeps saying that they don't want and they hate. Unless Nintendo decides to fight Sony for the control of the console space, the home console space, more games that skip Xbox means more people will skip on Xbox and will buy PlayStation, and that's going to give PlayStation.
Listen, I have both platforms. I don't care what's skipping on Xbox. You can keep your Wukong Black Myth garbage. Nobody cares about that. I'm getting my Gears E-Day, baby. I'm getting my Fable. I'm getting my Perfect Dark. I'm getting my South of Midnight. I'm getting my Indiana Jones. Let's talk about the list of games. Day one third parties. So whatever few little itty bitty games that are not coming on Xbox, it doesn't matter. Because if they don't, I just buy them on my Nintendo Switch or PlayStation. So I don't understand this whole argument. Because if this is the argument that we're coming up with, then so I should get rid of my PS5 because they're not getting Gears E-Day. I should get rid of my PS5. You know what's even more crazy? Microsoft Xbox is going to come up with their Uncharted-like game before Sony. And you want to sit there and say there's no reason for nobody to pick up an Xbox. Sony don't even got an Uncharted game. And the one that they dropped was nothing but a remastered version of Uncharted 4 for the PS4. And you want to sit there and tell people, oh, there's no reason to pick up an Xbox? Bro, there's no reason to pick up a PlayStation 5. What is you talking about, man? Oh, you know, because of these few little examples skipping Xbox. Well, a few games have been skipping Nintendo Switch since the console has released due to the underpowered Switch. Has that stopped the success of that platform? I don't think so, Doc. So when you sit there and say, oh, it's because a few games are skipping, you know, that's why the Xbox, hear the language that they use. No reason to pick up an Xbox. That is absolutely crazy to me, especially after that showcase. But go ahead.
More power, more leverage to tell you that.
What leverage? What leverage does Sony got in this situation? Because they stole some Marvel arcade classics, which, to be honest with you, is really there to appeal to a niche audience anyway. Guys, come on, man. We already know the Marvel arcade. Listen, I'm not bashing it. I love it. But we already understand that that's not on the level of a Gears E-Day. Come on, man. We got to be realistic here. We call ourselves gamers. We have to be realistic in these situations. Because I don't know what you're talking about. You're sitting there saying that there's no reason for that. How about I go as far to say there's no reason for PS5 or Series X? I'll just play them on PC, right? Concord Until Dawn remake, day and date, baby. What's the point of a PS5, Doc? You want to sit there and say, what's the point of an Xbox? What's the point of a PS5? If I can play their games on PC, as well as having access to my Xbox game catalog. What's the point of both of these platforms? Answer that question.
Bro, how much is going to cost for you to put your games on their platform? Because you best believe Sony's going to be getting a cut, right? I don't know, man. I just don't know how much, again, Xbox supposedly has influenced me to not buy games. The fact of the matter is, since Game Pass, I have bought more games. Again, maybe not on the Xbox platform, unfortunately. I bought them more on the other platforms. But I'm still buying games. Let me know what you guys think. Doc.
Man, this guy is such a pony bot, man. And I'm not saying, it's not about choosing sides, man. It's not about that. It's about standing where you're supposed to stand in video gaming, man. That's what it's about. I got both platforms. I guess I'm a pony bot too then, right? Or pony bot drone, right? I have all three of these platforms. But my point is this, though. The language that you use towards Xbox, I can already read it. Dude, that is a pony bot, bro. You're a pony bot. You still think that Sony's doing better than Xbox, even though they got no games, bro. You can sit there and say, I'm buying all my games on PlayStation. So you have to. You have no other option but to buy them. You hear this dude? Oh, I buy my games. Oh, I mean, yeah. You should. You have no other option. It's either you buy them or you don't have them. It's that simple. But with Xbox, you have access to these games on Xbox as well as PC. Why pay for something if you're already paying through a subscription service to play them? I'm just saying. You get what I mean? But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, man. Dog 1985, whatever this dude is, man. This dude is always going to be, a bona fide fraud to me. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, man. Like I said, take care.